Hey guys, it's Kyle here from BX Caloundra. Today we have Kelly, who's going to be talking all about her wonderful business and her upcoming xCite presentation on underinsurance. So welcome, Kelly. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us today. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Thank you. I thought a good place to start would be for those who might not know who you are and where you're from. Just give us a little recap in terms of your business and what got you into it in the first place.
Okay. I've been a financial planner for 20 years, and last year I decided to start specializing in insurance claims because that seems to be something that's causing a lot of problems for people trying to do them themselves.
Yeah, it's pretty challenging. I've dealt with insurance claims a few times and it's always a pain. So you help people with kind of going through that process? Like what's kind of the service that I guess that you provide?
Most of the insurance claims I deal with are the complex total and permanent disability claims. So those are the ones that seem to take the longest and have the most problems. But also, I've got a few on the go now for income protection where someone had their claim closed like halfway through them claiming because they went back to work, but really they should have been continuing to get partial payments for the last 6 years. So
Wow,
that's
six
one that
years. Wow.
I know. So we're going to go back and reopen. Well, we have reopened that claim, and she'll probably get quite a lot of money back
Oh,
pay, and
fantastic.
she'll also keep getting paid till she turns 65. So that's a big win.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome work because finance is one of those things that everyone's so stressed about money. And
Yeah,
especially when times are tough and you're going through a
yeah,
big life change or some challenge in your life, like that's when
yeah.
you need your insurance. So I imagine it could be quite rewarding.
Yeah. And the problem for the claims people is that quite often they're not well physically or mentally. So they
Hmm.
can't deal with the complexity of getting the information organized in a way that will get it approved.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I guess how would people know that they could get your help? Is it something that they would actively seek out? I'm just curious, I guess.
Yeah, I get people from lots of places. So I've got some referral partners. One's like a general insurance salesperson, and another one's probably financial planners, is where I get quite a few from. And also lawyers who deal with people estate planning, people who are terminal who need to make claims.
That makes sense. So it's basically like people who are helping their clients. They've gone through some type of life challenge where things have changed drastically and they're, let's say, being messed around by insurance companies or they're not being given the service that they probably should be given. Would that be fair to say?
Not always. I think they don't speak the same language, so the insurers get frustrated too because the people aren't really that mentally, and they don't
Hmm.
know how to complete the paperwork properly. So they send it in parts like bit by bit, and it never gets assessed because they don't give them everything they ask for.
That makes sense.
So
That makes sense.
it could go both ways. Problems could start on either side. So I'm the middle person who keeps everyone on track.
Nice. Well, that's a great service, Kelly. Good on you for being able to help people, especially like you said, like you're generally, just mentally not all together in those situations. And it would really pay to probably have somebody in your corner who can help you get your application in.
There are a lot more mental health claims going through now, especially since COVID. So I think a
Yeah.
lot of people really had some kind of issues where they were just broken because they lost their businesses or family members. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people still suffering the effects of the pandemic.
Far out. That's a really sad bit of information to hear. Yes, and it's probably leads really well into your presentation tomorrow for the xCite presentation. Is that we were talking about this before we started recording. You were saying that there's a massive underinsurance issue in Australia where people are just not adequately prepared for these situations. Is that right?
Yes, and it got worse in the last 5 years thanks to the government's legislation that wasn't very well thought out. So in
Mm.
the past, financial planners got higher insurance premiums, like commissions up front, and they didn't have to charge the clients. So they could do all the research and pay a power planner to write it up and then do it without asking the clients to pay. But the government, in their wisdom, decided we got paid too much and cut those almost in half. So now we
Wow.
have to ask people to pay for the power planning and things like that, and they don't want to do it. So either they don't get insurance or they might buy some products that aren't appropriate for their needs.
That's tragic. And I bet you the insurance companies aren't charging any less as well.
No, because they had to spend a lot of money to change all their systems. And now, with less insurance being sold by financial planners, the insurers are getting less income, so they have less staff to process claims and do things. So it's had a
That's
horrible
shocking.
knock-on effect. So you can thank the government for that one.
Yeah, thank you, government. Yeah, it's not good. How can people? I know you're probably going to give away a lot of great pointers and tips, but maybe for those people who are wanting the snapshot of what to expect, like what would be the highlights in terms of how you can get better prepared? How do you know if you're underinsured? I bet you I'm underinsured and I don't even know.
No, there's this thing out there called financial planners. So
What? I've never
get
heard of
some
this.
advice. The first step is to get advice on what you actually need and what you have, and we can help you with that, certainly. And then the next step is to review it regularly because your needs throughout your life will change. What you need now as a perhaps single person without children will change when you have a family and have big mortgages, and that will change again when the kids leave home and you no longer have a mortgage. So you need to review what you have so that it's appropriate to your needs. And
Yeah.
not having the right insurance can have a really disastrous impact on your family.
Yeah, that would be probably I would imagine the biggest time in your life where insurance is most required. But would it change for those reviews? Would it change based on life stages, or would you recommend like an annual review? How would that work?
Yeah, usually people would see a financial planner every year just to see what's changed in their situation and update things. But
Hmm.
with insurance, you'd want to do it at least every 2 years or when you have a major change in your life.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well, thank you, Kelly. This has been really informative. I guess let's talk maybe a bit more about the xCite presentation. So tomorrow you're presenting. What exactly are you going to be running through? What can people expect?
I'm going to be talking about why insurance matters, and I'll talk a little bit about what's general insurance and what's personal insurance, and make sure everyone knows what personal insurances there are and what they need, and also run through a couple of case studies of clients that have had probably the two most complicated total and permanent disability cases anyone could ever look at, and
Wow.
those were both very successful, and the clients are now happy and have money for medical treatment and their future financial security. So that's rewarding for me when I can help people who can't do that for themselves.
I can imagine that being very rewarding and good on you for being able to help people as well. I think that's the best type of job you can have is where you're able to actually help people in our own unique ways. So that's really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, definitely.
And in terms of your business as well, so obviously you're a BX member, and we talked a little bit about this previously, but you were saying that there's certain types of referral partners that you would look out for. I guess in your business, what would be kind of ideal ways that people could refer clients onto you, or if they do have concerns that their clients might be underinsured or they might have a claim that they need some help with, what's the best way that they can get in touch with you?
Well, my website's insuranceclaimsadvice.com.au, and on there you'll see lots of useful information about what kinds of insurance there are and what my claims process is. So anybody can refer a client to have a look at that. Usually, financial planners know if their clients are adequately insured or not, but they may not have the skills to deal with complex total and permanent disability cases because those can take 6 months to, that's probably a minimum, 6 months to a year and a half, and most financial planners with a full load don't have time to deal with that.
Hmm. Yeah, very true. Well, that's great. So you're able to help there. And I know you were saying that like financial planners, lawyers, accountants, I'm assuming as well, would be
Yeah.
ideal referral partners for you.
Yeah, there are some lawyers who do deal in claims, but the problem for the clients is that can take longer if they go to court. That can take
Hmm.
3 years to get to court. And
Wow.
also, if a lawyer sends a claim to an insurer, it doesn't go to the claims team, it goes to their lawyer. The good thing about using a financial planner for insurance claims is that we have relationships with BDMs and the claims teams, and we can help make sure everything that's been done to be assessed through a claims process is done, and that it's like playing a game of chess. They ask for something,
Hmm.
you give it to them, they make another move, you sort that out, and then at the end, it's checkmate, hopefully. I'm doing
Yeah.
okay on the checkmates.
I like that. I like that analogy. That's great. Well, thanks so much, Kelly, today for your time and just for explaining everything to us. if people are wanting to reach out to you, is there any way that they can, take on your amazing services, get help? This is your chance to share with our audience a bit more how they can reach out to you.
Sure. And they can always contact me through my website, which is insuranceclaimsadvice.com.au. On there, you can send me a message or get my phone number and call me direct. And I'd be happy to offer anyone who sees this a free review of their insurances to make sure they have what they need from a personal insurance point of view.
That's fantastic. That's a great offer, Kelly. Thank you so much for offering that. We'll make sure that gets out there. So hopefully anyone watching today, you can take up that amazing offer to have your insurances reviewed for free by Kelly. I think that's very generous.
Thank you. And
Excellent.
they can, at least they'll know what they have and what they don't have. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think that's one thing that you've really put into my mind. I'm like, oh my God, I need to look into this. So I might take you up on that offer as well.
sure thing. Be happy to.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Kelly. We'll see you tomorrow at the BX Caloundra, or Sunshine Coast South, I think is the official title. Don't know. We'll see you there for the xCite presentation tomorrow, bright and early at 8 a.m. And looking forward to hearing more.
Thanks. It's time to get excited about insurance.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're going to be there to get us excited.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Kelly. Cheers.